check. Hello. Hello, check. Hello, testing. Hello. Hello, check. Hello. ठीक है. Hello, hello.
Hello. All students are required to keep their mobile phone on silent mode. Kindly keep your mobile phone on silent mode. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hello. 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 We are just about to begin with this function. Kindly keep your mobile phone on silent mode. Please give a big hand for our Pro Vice Chancellor sir and welcome him. Hello. Hello. All students, take your seats. Hello.
इधर बैठ जाओ ये बैठ जाएगा
Hello.
Sujit. Sujit. Sujit.
है हटा दो यार, इसको हटा दो यार। व्हाट्सएप खोलूंगा अपना मैं। तो खुले रहने दो, वैक्सीन हटा दो। हाँ करो। मैं व्हाट्सएप कर दूँ मेरे को।
Dear audience, we are just about to begin with this function. Again, I remind you, kindly put off your mobile phone. Put your mobile phone on silent mode.
वो लेके गया प्रो चांसलर आ रहे कौन कौन आ रहा है
मुझे लग रहा है कि यूएसबी चेंज हुई क्या आ रही है ये भी चल रहा नहीं ये तो चल रहा था अभी
देख लो गुस्सा हो गया ऐसा तो नहीं ये नहीं चल रहा और ये चल रहा हो
मुझे भी नहीं लग रहा सब चल रहा है क्लोज कर दो प्रोग्राम अब खोली जरा कहाँ है पता ही नहीं कहाँ है मैडम पीपीटी कहाँ है
इसी में ही होगी
ये है क्या
हाँ ये लेटेस्ट में देख लो लेटेस्ट में देखो
यही होगी है ना
स्लाइड शो हैवी तो नहीं हो गई
हैवी होगी ये चल रहा है
Hello. Please welcome our chief guest by a big round of applause. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing this occasion by your presence. Harela, a festival of nature embrace, remind us of the profound bond between humanity and the earth. As we sow seeds of love, gratitude, and hope, may the harvest of our action yield a flourishing world for generations to come. A very good morning to all of you. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sujit Ravindran, co-founder, Wise EU Foundation, Ambassador of Peace. Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, other dignitaries, cherished deans and HODs, learned faculty members, and my dear students. I, Dr. Rashmi Gupta, welcome you all on behalf of whole COER family on a very significant and meaningful festival of Harela. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate this pious festival Harela, which is a festival celebrated primarily in the Indian states of Uttarakhand. It marks the onset of the monsoon season and is observed in the month of Shravan. The word Harela is derived from the Hindi word Hari, meaning green, and La means leaves. The festival holds great importance as it symbolizes the connection between human and nature. It is a festival that not only signifies the harmonious relationship between human and nature, but emphasizing the importance of human happiness and their gratitude for the earth's blessing. And today we are fortunate enough that on this pious festival, we have among us a great management thought leader, Dr. Sujit Ravindran, who will share his valuable insight on the topic, the future of employment, a radical shift from what we had imagined. Please give a big round of applause. Without further ado, let us remark on the incredible journey of learning and enlightenment with the traditional auspicious lamp lighting ceremony as attribute to Mother Saraswati. I would request all the dignitaries to please come on the dais for the lamp lighting ceremony. Please, sir. दीपो ज्योति परब्रह्मा दीपो ज्योति जनार्दना दीपो में हरतु पापम ज्ञान दीपो नमोस्तुते. Thank you, sir. We Indians are well known for our hospitality across the globe. For us, guest is equivalent to God. With this thought, I would now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, to welcome our chief guest by presenting him a flower bouquet, a token of love and respect. Please give a big hand. We are privileged to have Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, Vice Chancellor, COER University, to deliver his welcome address by setting the tone for this momentous event. I now invite him on the stage for sharing his valuable words that promises us for enlightening and thought-provoking. Please, sir.
So very good morning, all of you. It is again very nice to meet all of you again. And today is a very special day when we have Shri Sujit Ravindranji here with us, who is a global thought leader. And once you hear him, then you will know that how blessed we are to have him amongst us today here. And I think all of us want to have success, happiness, joy, bliss in our lives. And we feel it is like a rocket science, it is a big thing. But there are some, principles of abundance. He has written a book on the secrets of abundance, on the Shiva Sutra, and many, subtraction. He is that famous author. He is right here with us. So I think it is going to be a great treat for all of us to listen to Sujit Ravindranji. He was in India and I spoke to him, and he was very, very kind to come here at a very short notice. So I'm very thankful to him for coming here. And also a big thank to all of you for coming here. And we all know that success means different thing to different people. Yes or no? Somebody may say getting admission into COER is a great success. Somebody will say, okay, getting a job of 1 crore in Google is a success. Somebody may say that, okay, getting a A-star publication is a success. Somebody will say becoming a dean is a success, all right? And somebody who may have all of these may still be unhappy. होता नहीं कि कई बार मिलने के बाद गम इस बात का है कि मिलने की हसरत निकल गई। मिलने के बाद कभी ऐसा भी होता है, कभी ऐसा होता है कि बुलबुलों को ये हसरत है कि हम उल्लू ना हुए, कि बुलबुल खुद इतनी बढ़िया चिड़िया है, उसको प्रॉब्लम हो गई कि अरे भाई हम काश उल्लू होते, उसकी बड़ी बड़ी आंखें। सो जनरली इट हैपेंस दैट वे। तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग योर ओन स्वभाव एंड स्वधर्मा इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And if you are aligning over all the strategies aligned with our swabhav and swadharma, then there is a lot of bliss around. मान ये मछली है, उसको बढ़िया कहे कि अरे काश हम उड़ लेते पक्षी की तरह, तो कितनी बेचारी परेशान हो जाएगी। ये चिड़िया है, सोचेगी अरे काश हम तैर लेते तो कितना मजा आता। ये सुनो, तो हर एक व्यक्ति एक पर्पस के लिए है। And in our society, unfortunately, it has been happening more like a भेड़ चाल, कि अरे जहां सब भागे जा रहे हैं वहीं हम भी भागे जा रहे हैं, और उससे किसी का भला नहीं है। Yes or no? तो हमें ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि हम किस चीज के सीड हैं, what seed we have. अगर हम एप्पल के सीड हैं तो बढ़िया कश्मीर हिमाचल में लगें, देहरादून में लगें। अगर हम कोकोनट के सीड हैं तो बढ़िया अपना गोवा में लगें, केरल में लगें। यस और नो? तो फाइंडिंग व्हाट सीड वी हैव, अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सॉइल आई शुड डू, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मेंटरशिप आई विल बी लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड, दीज आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस इन लाइफ। उसके लिए ये भी बहुत जरूरी बात है कि हम अपने बारे में क्या सोचते हैं। अगर हम हर समय इस भावना में लगे हुए हैं, I'm using both the languages because certain terms are better explained in Hindi. I hope everybody understand Hindi here. Yes or no? तो ये सब बातें बहुत ही जरूरी हैं कि हम अभाव और प्रभाव में ना जिएं। होता ना कि ना किसी अभाव में जिएं, ना किसी के प्रभाव में जिएं। ये जिंदगी है आपकी, अपने स्वभाव में जिएं, तो उससे बड़ा ब्लेसफुल रहता है। उससे एक बात और भी होती है कि हम इसी समय बहुत एकदम खुश हैं, ये नहीं कि कभी कल होंगे खुश, कि जो प्राप्त है वो पर्याप्त है, वॉट एवर इज गिवन। ये भी नहीं कि साथ में उसमें लेजी हो गए एंड नॉट वर्किंग हार्ड, बट वर्किंग हार्ड विद अ पर्पस, विद अ डायरेक्शन, नॉट बीइंग हैविंग अ रेस्टलेस माइंड ऑल द टाइम। ये हर समय परेशान है। I see some students who are all the time addicted to their social media, who are all the time busy on the WhatsApp. और उनका हल्का सा कोई मैसेज आया, वो ब्लू टिक हो गया, अरे भाई रिप्लाई क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, उसी में परेशान हो रहे हैं। ये कोई फोटो से डाली, उसका लाइक नहीं आया, उसमें परेशान हो गए। Are you getting me? But there is a possibility we can train our mind not to get bothered by these things. So living a life of self-love, happiness, which is mainly in your control. Yes? So today we are here to listen to international thought leader and somebody for whom I have a great respect and regards, Shri Sujit Ravindran ji. So let's once again welcome him and thank you to him again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I would request everyone to absorb his valuable words. Once again, I would like to say thanks to Dr. Sujit Ravindran for joining us today. We eagerly anticipate your lecture, knowing that it will be a source of inspiration and enlightenment for all of us. Before I invite Dr. Sujit Ravindran on the stage, let us take a moment to know more about his achievements. Dear audience, Dr. Sujit Ravindran is the co-founder of WISE EU Foundation, a global think tank that supports the European Commission in the areas of policy shaping and policy action. He is a global traveler, sits on boards of several impact initiatives, is a TEDx speaker, and serial author of several books on leadership and personal development, available in 10 plus languages. In 2012, he was conferred the honor of Ambassador of Peace by the Council of ACC, Italy, for his efforts on spiritual upliftment. Please give a big hand for his achievement. He lives in Italy with his happy family of 2 kids. Dear students, please join us in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Sujit. He will grace us with his invaluable insights and expertise, shedding light on the subject matter like no other. Let us greet him with a round of applause as he approaches the stage. Please, sir. Please give a big hand.
Oh, yeah? Good morning. Can you hear me there? In the back. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity here. Is English okay? Good? But I'll try to use simple. I'll try to use simple language. For me, it's an honor to come to COER. And indeed, my dear friend Pankaj, I'm here in India for a couple of weeks. I live in Italy. And he persuaded me, saying that, there is this fine institution in Roorkee. Please come visit. And I want to thank you for a very, very, very warm welcome. Every person I've met so far in COER, the hospitality has been very warm. So thank you for that. Thank you to the faculty for joining. And of course, thank you to the students. The character gap. It's an interesting topic. It is a very, very important topic. All major countries in the world, they're very deeply concerned with the idea of character. You have the clicker? I can use it.
No, it's not working actually.
All right. The clicker doesn't work.
It is not working.
All right, okay. No worries, no worries. So we'll go back. We'll keep it back. Yeah. Have you heard of something called the skill gap? That means a certain set of jobs need some skills, but the people, the potential students, graduates do not have the skills. A skill gap. Have you heard of the knowledge gap? That means to fully, successfully perform in a certain job, some knowledge is needed, but the prospects don't have the knowledge. You say there's a knowledge gap. There's a digital gap in many parts of India. Similarly, I would say today, perhaps the most important success factor for employment, for successful employment, is addressing the character gap. And if you can go to the next slide, I'll break the whole idea of character gap down for you. Have you seen this before? Do you know unstop? Anybody here knows Unstop? Raise your hand if you know Unstop, if you heard of Unstop. Unstop is a recruitment agency, a very rapidly growing recruitment agency in India. Unstop, from their research, concluded that only, listen to this, in India, only 0.1% of the graduates from Indian institutions are totally ready for employment. See, we all learn a lot of things. We learn finance and marketing and commerce and economics and accounting, sales, engineering. We get our certificate, we go out, we believe we are ready, but the employers don't believe that. The research shows that 0.1% of graduates are employment ready. And I can share the same. One of the great blessings I have is I actually facilitate some of these Chamber of Commerce and industry ministers, education ministers discussions, even in India. And recently in South India, this 2 years ago, I was part of a conversation between the employers and the policy makers, the ministers. And the ministers were saying, you know what? Last year we spent more than 1,000 crores on vocational skilling, on skills. We have all these exciting programs to make our state the best in education. We promise the best students, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. The employers on the other side, they say, no, in your state, we don't get employment-ready students, graduates. We don't get in your state. You see, there's a big confusion there. There's one stakeholder saying that we are offering you 100% guaranteed success or qualified people, and the other party saying that no, they're not ready for employability. There's this big gap, and the gap comes, of course, a little bit from knowledge. Maybe the employers think that there is a little bit of a knowledge gap, definitely much more a skill gap. But for employers, a big thing is the character gap. And by the end of this talk, I would have completely told you about the character gap. If you do not work on the character gap, then success will evade you. Whatever the field is, and that's a beautiful thing. In the next conversation, I'll talk about a little bit about what is going to be the future of employment. And there you will know, and I'll let out the secret already, that all the young people that I see here, you will have 7, 8, 9, 10 plus careers in your life. Careers, not jobs. So you might decide, now I'm going to graduate in commerce. 5 years later, you will graduate, you will say, you know what, I'm getting bored with commerce. I think I'll become an architect. I think I like architect. Or I will create a cloud kitchen. or e-commerce, you will keep changing your career every few years, not jobs, careers, entire career. Now, the beautiful thing about character or fixing your character gap is that whichever career you take, you will flourish, you will succeed. That is sense of character. Now, the employers, the education institutions, the employers, the policymakers, they have this big conflict. Because the institutions, the education institutions, they claim that we have great qualified students. Please place them, recruit them. But the employers say, your students, your graduates not ready. So I have a little quiz for you, if you will permit me. Okay, you have to show your hand, okay? Good. Let's start with the first poll. Okay. Brush your teeth in the morning. Raise your hand. Go ahead. How many of you brush your teeth once? How many of you brush your teeth twice a day? Lesser hands. Okay, good. Where is the next one? Yeah. How many of you make your own tea? All right. Okay, that's pretty impressive. How many of you know how to make your own tea? Okay, less hands. For how many of you, your mother or your wife makes your tea? All right, okay, yeah, many hands. Okay, yeah, how many of you wash your own underwear? Okay, you know, either some of you are lying or this is the most special group in India. I prefer to believe the second, okay? I prefer to believe that I am here in the presence of the most special group in India. And can we go further? Who here still stays with your parents? All right. Lovely. That is a very sensitive topic. Okay? Very topic. Because there are many dimensions to that question. But before I go there, I want to share a little bit, I had a very, very warm introduction. Your name is? Okay. So Dr. Gupta and Dr. Gupta, thank you. One of the great blessings I have in the work I do worldwide is I run a number of global teams. So 6, 7, 8 members from different continents in a team driving a mission, whatever the global mission is. Very capable, a lot of very capable young people join these teams. I recruit them just to experience global leadership, etc. And there are a few important questions I always ask. One is, do you know how to make your own tea? Do you make your own tea, or do you need somebody else's help for a cup of tea? If you're somebody who can't make your own tea, you do not belong in my team, in this organization. Simple. How can I give the responsibility of a global initiative where prime ministers are involved, corporate CEOs are involved, industry ministers are involved, where the United Nations is involved, where the European Commission is involved? How can I give you a responsibility of something that important when you can't even make your own cup of tea? I ask another question. I ask, who washes your underwear? If to have your hygiene needs met, you need your mother, that is scary for me. If you cannot manage yourself, how are you going to manage the planet, the climate, humanity, employability? Don't imagine that's going to happen. Why do I do that? People say I'm very harsh sometimes. Because there's an alternative. If I do not do this, something else is going to happen to me, which I'm going to show in a few minutes. But for now, it's important for you to know. I ask these questions. And of course, I also ask the question, how many of you here live with your parents? Which is a very, very sensitive question. And I'll tell you why. But let's go to the next slide. Because, just want to check. Anybody here heard of, raise your hand, if you heard of a word like that, failed fledglings? It's all right. If you don't know it, it's okay. Any parasite singles? Heard of it? No. Next one. Parasito shinguru. Not heard of it? Okay, next one. Basement dwellers. Not heard of it? It's okay if you haven't heard of these terms. These are all global terms. Sponge. I don't mean the sponge that you use to clean your vessels, but on human resources, sponge. Haven't heard of it. Okay, next one. Nini. Then the next one. The lost millennials. Anybody heard of that? One hand, two, three. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Okay, the lost millennials. And who have heard of the word NEET? Not in education, employment, or training. That's NEETs. The next. Poof. These are the terms used worldwide for a certain category of graduates, which is quite a significant percentage now worldwide among the new generations. What is your generation called? I'm looking at the students. Yes, Generation Z or Gen Z or Gen Z. You are the Gen Z generation. Do you know what is the generation before? Millennials. Yes. These two generations, your generation and the millennials, any millennial here, like 37, under 37, like 19 to 37, like 20 to 37? Yeah. Never mind. You know, these two generations are completely redefining what working in business or organizations mean. And in these two generations, a number of words have emerged all over the planet, these words. And the next slide, please. Ta-da! There you have it. Take a moment. The basement dwellers, the sponge, etc., are people who live with their parents. And I said, remember, I keep saying this is a sensitive matter. Like if you look at most of Indian states today, there's a big problem, there's a crisis happening because India's development story is very urban-centric. It's urban. It's happening in the cities. That's where development is happening. And I understand, I sympathize why it's happening. Because if you put a little resource into a city, it can benefit many people. Just create some infrastructure like metro, rail in a city, then lakhs and lakhs of people can benefit from it. But to take the development into the rural areas of India is very difficult financially. We need a lot of resources. So what's happening is the India's growth story is urban centric. And what does that do to families? What's happening with families as a result? It's breaking up nuclear families, joint families. Young people, they leave their old parents in the village, they come to the city, they pursue their professional dreams. One day they get married, live in the city, they have children in the city. So now the grandparents are in the village, they miss that older generation of people, they miss their children and their grandchildren. They rely on each other to meet their love needs, their social needs. They have to rely on each other. That's not very healthy. And there's a big crisis coming out of that, the loneliness crisis, the depression crisis among the older people. Bless you. Loneliness is the biggest challenge of older people. So, remember that. That might not be part of this topic, but I'm happy to spend 1 minute on this. Remember always, when you have your parents or your grandparents complaining that, my knee and not feeling good, or, I'm not really sleeping really well, or I lost my taste in the mouth, or somehow I keep hearing some noises in the night. The important thing here is, at the core, at the foundation of all of that is, it is an older parent complaining. Complaining, I miss you. It's not anything to do with the knee. It's not anything to do with the bed. My bed is inclined. It's got nothing. It's got to do with missing love, being lonely. That is the biggest enemy for the old people. And the Indian growth story is creating this loneliness epidemic. Anyway, now think what's going to happen in India in the next 80 years, 100 years, 150 years. And I'm a futurist. I support national governments in thinking, how is society going to look 100 years from now? Not in the next 7 years, 8 years. I'm interested in the next 80 years. And we have to think, what are you guys going to do? How are you guys going to live? That's why this last question, who here still lives with your parents, is a very sensitive question. Because you have obligations. You have to feed a family. So you would say, what? It's okay that I don't have enough love in my life, but at least I can make money for my family. I understand that. And there is a different problem here. A problem that employers, and I'm speaking about employers here, industry, corporates, managers, bosses, they have a very different problem. I don't know what is the next slide actually. Okay, not that one. So we'll go back to the other. Thank you. They do not want to recruit people who still live with your parents. They don't. That is not helpful for organizations. Which means you've not developed your personality. You never taken any hardships in life. You never gone and bought your own provisions, food. You never cooked for yourself. You never have taken care of yourself when you fell ill. You never fixed a wash basin when it gets blocked. You never washed your own plates. And you come to me asking, you want 2 lakhs monthly salary, 3 lakhs monthly salary, etc. While you still don't have personal leadership. You've not developed your character. Employers do not want that. Now the next slide here, you see, worldwide, the great programs out there. Even the Harvard Business School offers, you heard of a Harvard Business School? One of the small little unimportant schools. He's from Harvard, so, he gets very sensitive. There are great programs out there called Managers as Leaders in the next one. Managers as Coaches, because managers, they want to develop themselves all the time to become very effective in management. And these programs there's more. Another one, Managers as Supervisors and Managers as Motivators. Very, very popular programs. I don't know in COER if there are any skilling programs like this for industry where managers can come and do some of these programs. These are all very, very popular programs. I know in many, many management schools, you have these programs. And I have to tell you something. Just before the COVID pandemic, in North Europe, a training group that I know, they've been thinking about how to innovate their training programs. And when COVID happened, they were sitting there doing nothing, plenty of time, no clients, no trainings. They decided, you know what, we keep offering all these programs and managers communicate their needs with us. We have an idea. We are going to put out a request, announcement for another program. Can we move forward? Next one. Yes, the next one. No, we're missing one there on the slide if you want to pull it up. They decide to put out a program called Managers as Babysitters. You know what is a babysitter? Anybody help me? Who is a babysitter? The other part of the slide is not coming. No, it's not there. Maybe some. If you pull it off the the presentation mode, is it still there or is it disappeared? Is it? Right. Okay. Never mind. It's okay. Yeah. Who is a babysitter? Tell me, somebody. वो babysitter का काम क्या होता है? Looks after babies. A babysitter is somebody who takes care of babies. And these people, because the managers are frustrated, because very often these young students graduate from educational institutions and they join a company, and only the managers are not supervisors anymore, they are babysitters. Really bad, and especially in a place like Chennai. Anybody here from Chennai? Nobody. All right. It's notorious. The managers complain. I'm not a manager. I'm not a supervisor. I'm a babysitter. So I employ somebody, and every morning I'm like sitting at 8 a.m. in the, hey, Are, did you wake up? That's like, okay. So, and then 8:30 calling, did you take a shower? Are you on the way? Then at 9, like, I mean, how far are you from the office? And all this while probably because the manager called him, he woke up, and then at 9 call, and of course he's saying like, yes, oh, traffic mein fasa hai, and he's drinking his filter coffee in some, chai adda. And then eventually, if the manager is lucky, if the company is lucky, then about 10:30, 11 a.m., he shows up. Now, Bhagavan's ke kripa se, he's here, and the manager is like, this is going to be a good day. No, because he has to kind of literally hold the baby and show like, what work has to be done. Managers do not want that. Managers want, recruits who have character, who can manage themselves. And I can speak for 5 days. And actually the program on the character gap is a 1-week program. So I can speak for 1 week on that. But I'm going to pull out one thing, only one thing for today. But anyway, next slide and the next one. That's a manager as a babysitter. They do not want to be a babysitter. No, they want to be a supervisor. There are managers who even on the weekend ask questions to these people. That is not the role of a manager. You see now why there's a conflict between managers, employers, and or policymakers. Because this is the manager's reality. If we go to the next one. Yeah. Now, like I said, the character gap, there are many areas of character where we can work on. But just pausing here for a moment, I wanted to tell you this much. The character gap is the biggest challenge for employers. Remember the first thing I mentioned? 0.1% of graduates are employment ready. Not because you don't know marketing, finance, or engineering, sales, accounting, etc. No. Only because, we have to give you 1,000 crore company's responsibility in your hand. You're part of a company where you can destroy the reputation of a company. We live in a social media world today. One incident of a Zomato delivery person can destroy Zomato. One incident. One incident of a Uber driver can destroy Uber. One incident of Amazon or Flipkart can bring them down. One incident. Okay? Because we live in a very networked world. Your actions matter. And I remember seeing in the vision statement, in the mission, there was some words around ethics and morality. These are extremely important areas. For me, I simply don't care anymore whether you have a certificate from a school or not. I'm just not interested in your certificate, and I can tell you this to you. In 10 years, you will not be interested in certificates. I do coach universities abroad in Europe where they are completely planning to remove the idea of certificates. Because certificates in 10 years won't matter. I'm sorry to say this. But you have to face the truth. And later in the afternoon, I'll probably come to this a little bit more. we will come to a situation where, the content of your character and the contribution you made before matters more than your qualification. And I practice that in all my organizations, everywhere where I am sitting on the board or I'm advising an organization or my global teams. I'm not interested in your certificate. You come in here, and one of the standards that I already established, one of the agreements, one of the values that I already established at the beginning when somebody is recruited is this. If I or one of the seniors would have to babysit you, then we will lovingly, with a hug and a smile, we'll just release you. That's it. We do not want to babysit. Well, we all have babies to babysit. We love babysitting. I have 2 children. I love them. I will do anything for them. And whatever I do, I also do for them. I love babysitting. But I do not want to babysit you people. Not because I don't love you. I mean, you're all fantastic, very fine people. But I do not want to babysit. And I am actually sharing the sentiment of every manager. Every manager. You tell me if there's a manager out there who likes babysitting, and I would tell you, do not go and work for her. Because a babysitter will anyway, suffocate you, will kill your creativity, will retard your leadership. But that's a different story for another day. Next time when I visit, I'll talk about the other side, okay? Never mind. The important thing is, remember, it is the development of character that matters. And I wanted to share some of the background on that one. And now, in a couple of slides and one video, we'll close. Like I said, the character gap. There are so many things on the character to work on, and you cannot ever stop. Because character development is not for 4 years while you are in COER. Character development is a daily thing for the rest of your life. And it cannot feel like it's a burden, it's a duty, it's an obligation. No. Character development must be a joyful, exciting thing. Discovering myself, my potential, and learning new skills, becoming a better human being. Now, anyway, in all of this, if we go to the previous slide, Mridula, thank you. Thank you. There's only one that I want to explore today, and then we'll close. And that character trait is self-authorship. You being responsible for yourself. And that's not just about you washing your own underwear. There's much, much more. You being responsible for your commitments, your timing, your punctuality, your conduct, your attitude, your communication, your patience, a lot of things. But that's for the 7-day course. Now for now, I'm going to bring this down. What is self-authorship to a few very simple things. Shall we? Yeah, thank you. 1. Now, I'm not going to take a lot of time on this one. I'm going to just touch on 4 things. Not this one in particular, because then this would become a psychology program. No interest in a psychology course at this moment, okay? Thoughts and emotions. You are responsible for your emotions. Not your social media posts, not the blue tick marks, not the number of likes, not the middle finger of somebody else. No, nothing. You are responsible for your emotions. If anybody ever tells you, no, the government is responsible for my happiness, or my spouse is responsible for it, or my employer is responsible for it, or the weather is responsible for it, that's a lie. You are responsible for your emotions. And that is important for me in the organization, because an organization, remember, is an organism. It's a community. You're going to join an organization where there are thousands of people. And if you keep coming every day to my workplace with your negativism, your judgment, your complaining, your whining, your criticism, your politics, your lie, your anger, with a lot of managers, is not welcome. Self-authorship means that you have to take responsibility for your emotions. Things can go wrong all the time, but how do you engage the things you go wrong? You take responsibility for it, not me. Very important. The second thing, this one, very valuable. Your word, you take responsibility for your word. This is a big challenge among millennials and Gen Z. And I'm smiling while I'm saying this. I don't want to be critical. All right? But you have to remember, a community functions based on mutual commitments. Now, that your output is my input, and my output is Mridula's input. That's how we live at home. That's how we live in a community. That's how we perform in an organization. And when you make a word, when you say like Friday, 5 p.m., I will show up, I'll deliver a presentation, or I'll hand in a report, a new project proposal. And then, you are, on your social media, posting and forward WhatsApp and all of that. And then, very, very smart people, that is again, acknowledgement, a praise of your creativity. Your generation gives the best excuses. Actually what happened, I cannot deliver Friday at 5 p.m. now, because you're not going to believe what happened. You remember my Mamaji? His cousin's uncle's dog is getting married. And मैं उधर फंस गया था. You give the world's best excuses. No. Your word must be your law. Your law. Not because an employer says like, what, I demand you do. No. I do not make a promise, and Pankaj knows this about me. I do not make a promise unless I really sit about it. I take a few hours. I think, is it feasible? Will I be able to deliver? If somebody asks me to deliver something today, and I'm here with all of you, I'm not going to make you happy by saying, हाँ सर, जरूर हो जाएगा, sure, आज कर देंगे, 5 बजे, sharp, जरूर, बिल्कुल. All right, and 5 बजे, you're like, trying to call me, and, range ke bahar, or his device is put off. Yeah, whatever. And then, not tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, I receive a WhatsApp message saying like, you know what happened? My Mamaji. No. You're responsible for your word. Your word must be your law. That is the content of our character. That must be the content of our character. We'll go to the third one, actions, which is again committed to the conduct, what we do. One of the things that managers don't like is giving justifications. It's also like excuses, but no, you start explaining. This is how it should be done. That's how it should be done. No, do it. The content of your character is that you take action. You're responsible for your actions. Important, you cannot give justifications in any walk of life anyway, even in your relationships, or as a parent, or as a child, or with your friends. Not good character to give justifications instead of taking action on what is important. And the last one, actually, results. This is, many of us people, we have actually mastered this victimhood role. Victim. I'm a victim, you know. The traffic is so where I live. Yeah. And I can't do it because, you know, after all my social media posts, I don't have any more data left. Now, victimhood, when it comes to results, you know, I cannot achieve something because circumstances always prevent me. No. No. Managers not interested, employers not interested in that. Not interested in, you know, data problem or power cut or water supply has stopped or there was a flood on the road, etc. If we would really ask ourselves, what is a smart way to do it, we will find answers, but we would want to achieve it. If you have that willpower, if you really feel like you want to achieve it, you will find solutions. Look at it, Corona happened and we thought, oh, complete industry will stop. We will not have any more commerce because people can't work anymore. Our development story will come to a standstill. No. Yes, for the first few months, some policy makers and politicians and some people complaining victimhood, the virus. But then, we did something. We discovered smart work. We created new technology, new communication systems, new management frameworks, new processes, new procedures, new systems, new structures, new culture, new leadership. We created all of that to overcome the lockdown. We are doing fine. We learned some great lessons. There's no room for greatness and victimhood. They don't mix well. And I know you made a great investment to come to COER because you know you're great and you want to express that greatness. You want to become great. Lovely. Which obviously means you have to practice self-authorship. And yes, we'll take another 7 days on many of the other qualities, but for now, I don't know if there's any other slide other than the movie. Yeah, all right, okay. So good. The summary here. Remember, managers are not babysitters. That's important to know. They want to give you responsibility and they want you to shine, to have fun, use your creativity, take risks, find new ways. And the manager wants to feel, the leaders want to feel, the employers want to feel, you know what? With you, I can trust. You are a good person for my organization. Remember, character. You have to continue to develop your character. That area we have to fix. You know, we used to have in Bharat an entire educational focus, which was more than 50% of education once upon a time around what is called Paravidya, the subjective education, the education of the self. Today, the objective education, the Aparavidya, is all about education. But then, the Paravidya starts at home. The character building starts at home. And very often, what you have to do, because you often come from a rural background, you have to learn great character from institutions like COER, and you may have to go and educate your parents. Well, anyway, I think you still go and always tell your parents that they are wrong and try to show how smart you are. You're probably already doing all of that. Maybe you can also help them evaluate their character. So anyway, that is a good summary now. And what I'll do is, with that message, with that invitation, always stay focused on character. The most important one of which for me is self-authorship. You being responsible for your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your actions, and results. Good? Let me just have a 3-minute video, and then we can take any questions if you have. Otherwise, we close. We can also put the CC, the closed captions. I love this video.
Can I help you?
I'm sorry, my train was late.
What time are you supposed to be here?
9 o'clock. So, 9:01.
My office now.
I'm really sorry about being late, sir.
This is the third time this year that you have not been here when you're supposed to.
It was only a minute.
I didn't get to drive a Bentley convertible by having a piss poor attitude, which is what you have, a piss poor attitude.
Again, I'm very sorry about being late.
Mm-hmm. Read that for me.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Do you know what that means?
Yes, I do.
I don't think you do.
No, I do. I know what it means.
What does it mean?
It means the wheel that's squeaking.
What it means is that your job is hanging by a thread.
Just please do not fire me at this time.
I'll finish with you in a minute. What? I thought I told you I needed that report by Wednesday.
That's a lottery ticket.
I don't.
Yeah, give me a lottery ticket.
Speak when spoken to. Just answer my question. What day is it? What day is today? Yes, it's Wednesday. You know, Leonard? Leonard turned in his report, and Leonard has muscular dystrophy. Have you ever seen him try to type? You will get that report to me today.
You won the lottery.
Even if you have to bring it to my house at midnight, get it to me. Okay. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. We're discussing your future at this company. Okay. Just give me one reason why I shouldn't fire you. You have a piss poor attitude. You can't get to work on time.
I'm sorry, what?
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just had a feeling and I went with it. God, your wife is ugly. I mean, your wife is really just... Whew. I don't know how you do it. Is it Viagra? Is that what you use?
You're fired. I quit. Get out of this office. Okay, get me security up here, right away.
I hate you.
Thank you. Done. Lovely. Don't be that person. Okay? Good. Lovely. Any questions about anything? You're welcome to share. Go ahead. The character gap. No questions can mean only two things. Either you've understood this completely clear, everything is clear, or yes, nothing makes sense, nothing is clear. Good. Any questions? Well, you have your wonderful faculty here, so you can always raise those questions. And Pankaj has got a direct connection with me, so if you need an answer from me, I'm sure that you will hit the forward button, and then I'll try to help you anyway. For now, just want to say thank you to the faculty here. I was noticing how connected you were to the conversation, so thank you for that. And thank you for the students, for taking this immense hardship. The programs that you do take investment. And also thank you to your families, your parents who undertake those sacrifices so you have a better life than they do. So to all of you, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Honestly speaking, you have such a wonderful and charming personality that during your lecture, we all were enchanted in listening your influential voice.
Wow.
Now is the time when I will request Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji to come forward and present the memento to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Sujit Ravindran, as a token of our appreciation and as a symbol of the impact you have on all of us. Please, sir. Sir, I would request please come on the stage for a good photograph. Nidula ma'am, you please join. Reverend dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, distinguished guests, and fellow students, as we bring this memorable event to its close, it is an honor to express our gratitude and extend our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Mridula, HOD IQAC, and her team to organize such a wonderful lecture for all of us. Please join your hands together and applause for her. I now request our respected Dean Basic Science and Humanities, Dr. D.V. Gupta ji, to kindly come forward and deliver the formal vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi. Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.P. Pandey ji, Pro Vice Chancellor, esteemed Chief Guest of the day, Deans, HODs, dear colleagues and students. Good afternoon to all of you. We are privileged to have our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji, among us today. Thank you, Dr. Pankaj Gupta ji. I extend our sincere appreciation to Pro Vice Chancellor and IQAC Director, Dr. S.P. Pandey ji, for his meticulous planning and helping us in coordinating this event. I would also like to express our gratitude to Dr. Mridula Singh, Head IQAC, for her remarkable efforts in organizing this event. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, for coordinating the program beautifully. Our heartfelt thanks to go to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Sujit Ravindran ji, Management Thought Leader. Your presence here today has added immense value to this event. Positive leaders' behavior develop a high quality relationship between leaders and their employees. This kind of leaders inspire employees to engage in such a way that team becomes self-motivated and results in more productive work. Positive leaders always supporting employees in terms of stress, recognizing their abilities, encouraging them to improve their performance. Sir, your presence here is very much appreciated. Sir, your profound knowledge and insights have enlightened all of us, and we are grateful for the inspiration you have provided. Thank you, sir. Please give him a big round of applause. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the faculty members, staff and students for their active participation and presence. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Now all are invited for a group photograph offsite. Please, sir.
After group photograph, all will move in front of the UETR building for tree plantation. Please, all faculty members and students are requested.